everyone, welcome back to Frag Chat with me, Smelly, and her,
Smurfy.
So today it's a special episode, a special edition where we're just doing a slightly shorter episode focusing on only one thing. It's two very exciting upcoming releases. They're going to be out in the middle of March. They're not out yet, but we have them and we are so excited and grateful to Victor Wong, their main man at Zoologist, for sending us these two.
Thank you, Victor.
Yes, thank you very much indeed. So we actually filmed an unboxing and I'm going to put that in now so we can all share the excitement of that moment. So here it is. Okay, hello everyone. It's a special episode of Frag Chat with Smurfy and Smelly. It's our first unboxing. We're going to be filming a very exciting parcel because this has come from Victor Wong of Zoologist. So let's see what we've got in here.
I'm so excited.
Claire is very excited.
Really excited.
And me too.
Yeah. I think this is going to be... One is going to be amazing for my nose. And the other one, I reckon, has got your name written all over.
One of them is a bit more up my street, maybe, by the description, yeah.
Yeah.
But let's see if it's what we think it might be, if I can ever get into it. Right, so, how is this supposed to work? Oh, okay. Bear with us. I'll get there. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So, look at that. The tissue paper that it comes in is brilliant.
Oh
So,
my God,
what a lovely touch that is. They've fallen out, so we're going to have... let's do this one first. Okay, so the first thing there is Chameleon. So this is a new release from Zoologist. We don't actually have the notes to hand. What we'll do is we're going to open them up for you now, and then we'll take a few minutes to sniff them and come back to you. Then maybe we'll tell you something more about the notes. So even on the box there, we've got a bit of a holographic, the colour changes.
I love that. That is
Like
gorgeous.
A chameleon. And the artwork, as usual, is...
Stunning.
Well, I think stunning is a fair word for that. Okay, so the tissue paper that they come in is sort of worth the entry price alone. Look at that, some of the other creations. Tyrannosaurus Rex, was it Moth? And some of the other ones from the house. There is a lovely handwritten note there, but I guess we should keep that private. But it just says very kind words from Victor, who's very kindly... First time he sent us these big, full 60ml bottles, which we're very grateful for. And the other one then... Dodo, the extinct bird. Guess which one's more up my street then? So Dodo, I think, is apparently an old school fougere, but of course Zoologist style is going to be different.
The dodos real? Did they?
They were real, but they became extinct because they couldn't fly.
Right.
And once men arrived on the island, or maybe white men, I'm not sure. I think man in general landed on some island, and they quickly became extinct because they couldn't fend for themselves.
Yeah.
That's why he's in this old-fashioned 17th century garb, because that was around the era that they were discovered by man and quickly exterminated.
Can you tell me what happened to unicorns?
No, Claire, they weren't real. That's made up. Yeah. There's probably someone who believes in them. So I'm going to try and open it without wrecking this thing. I don't know how this works. Shall I just tear that off? Yeah. So, I'm not doing that on camera enough. Okay, so really, really nice presentation. Really brilliant artwork, even on the box.
Wow.
It really feels expensive and good. Some stuff about, the usual stuff. Nice presentation. So let's see how it opens.
Can that slide out?
Does it? I think it's like a magnetic thing there. So we've got a magnetic thing there. Again, this one, no, doesn't do the colour changing thing. That's only for the... Chameleon. Okay, so Dodo, look at that beautiful bottle presentation, and as usual, stunning artwork and a great bottle. So we've got the notes listed there. We'll talk about those. Actually, we'll talk about those when we come back. Okay. So beautiful presentation. I'll get it out so we can see it in all its glory, and
that's
really
amazing.
attractive. You get a nice lid. It's a 60ml, I think. Yeah, 60ml. Very high quality. Sorry, I've got some ink on my finger. So brilliant. Next one then?
Yep.
Let's have a look.
Do it. Now this one we did have a sample of a little while ago that Victor sent us, and I love it. I can tell you that already. It's kind of like It's ylang ylang in there, and it's kind of got a sunscreen feel to it, like a sun lotion, but a little bit more going on. It's really, really nice.
So Chameleon, and look at that.
Wow.
The colours around the edge of the label change in different light.
That
which,
is
of course,
amazing.
is really nice. And again, you can see the note listing, and there's a really nice description always on. Whoops, sorry. There's always a nice description, so it's fine. Okay, so here's the bottle again. Really, really nice design. Both fairly clear, coloured kind of juice. Really nice lid on that. Let's just see what the sprayers look like. So there it is. Very nice indeed. Okay, so we're going to give these a sniff, give it a few minutes, and come back to you with our first impression on these very exciting and beautiful new releases from Zoologist. So there was the unboxing. Now we've had a chance to give them like a good one wearing each.
I wore one of them last night, and I'm wearing that same one today.
Right, and I've just had this on one part of me last night. It was on my hand, and then I've been wearing the other one, Dodo, this just now as well. So we'll start with Chameleon.
Yeah.
If you take over by describing, actually, shall I just tell them the notes?
Yeah.
Let's do that first. So the official blurb about this one is Daniel Pescio, who is the perfumer. The top notes are bergamot, lemon, Madagascar ylang ylang, mango, pink pepper, starfruit, violet leaves, cashmere and clove, coconut, frangipani, jasmine, saffron, salty skin accord, sea breeze, amber woods, musks, apopanax, patchouli, sandalwood, vanilla and vetiver. So really, really long note listing, but more importantly than that, what do you think of it, Claire? And then I'll say what I think.
I really love it, actually. I've got a fresh spray here. Or I say fresh, like 20 minutes. And there's a gorgeous sweetness to it, which is coming from the ylang ylang and the frangipani. Really beautiful. But there is a muskiness. It's quite complex. All those notes, I couldn't pick out a lot of them, but they just create something really beautiful that makes me think of tropical islands, suntan lotion, lush florals.
Yeah.
Just, I'm really loving it, yeah. But it's more complex than the average kind of beachy fragrance, I think.
But for a Zoologist fragrance, it's closer to mainstream perfumery than many of their others. It's very wearable,
much
isn't it?
more mass appealing,
Yeah.
although it doesn't smell like anything you can buy straight off the shelf in Debenhams. But it is, like you say, closer to that than probably any of their other fragrances.
Yeah, so if you like something that's a little bit sweet and floral with a tropical feel,
Yeah.
perhaps not saying it smells like them, but mood-wise, I said a bit like Guerlain's Terracotta.
Yes, it's in that ballpark. But if you want something that's a little bit more edgy, a little bit more interesting, it's going to last longer and have more depth to it, then I would say that's probably quite a safe blind buy for people that love the tropical white floral fragrances.
Yeah, it's not one of those Zoologist ones that's very polarising.
No.
Most people are going to like that smell, aren't they?
Yeah.
Definitely. Any particular notes jumping out? Got coconut,
You can smell the
frangipani.
coconut, yeah. You can
Can you?
definitely smell the frangipani and the ylang ylang.
Yeah,
And I do get that kind of salty skin feel.
yeah. Okay, you compared it a bit to SP Parfum's Santan Glam, which has a similar kind of bronzed skin, sultry kind of feel about it. And yeah, there's definitely some freshness, bit of sweetness, some florals. Chameleon-like, anything particularly chameleon-like about it?
Actually, it does change quite dramatically from the opening spray, which is really quite loud, and it makes you think that this is going to be a massive projection beast.
I'll spray a bit there.
Yeah, changes quite quickly, and it softens up, becomes much less sweet and not so overwhelming. So in that respect, the way that the performance of it changes quite quickly, and the sweetness becomes much less sweet. It is a bit of a chameleon.
And you reckon it's your favourite Zoologist so far?
Definitely.
And do you think that's just because it's the latest one that you've got and
No.
you're excited, or do you really think it will might
that's
stick?
one that I will be wearing a lot.
Okay, so really, really good impressions from both of us on this one. A really, really nice wearable one. Maybe most people would probably classify it as being a feminine fragrance.
It does feel to me quite feminine, yeah.
Okay, but
because
for
of the florals.
someone like me who doesn't mind wearing some that are leaning that way, it could well be fine for a man too. So that's our verdict on that one. Really, really good performance so far.
brilliant, I think, so far.
Been good, has it? Okay.
Yeah, because I wore it last night and then I woke up and could still smell it.
Okay.
Also, I did one spray on one hand and then I soaked in the bath for an hour and there was still a faint smell of it on the hand. So I'd say performance is good.
Okay, so that's what we think so far. We will hopefully be featuring the fragrances more on both on my channel and on Claire's for when we tried them out for a longer time.
We'll do full reviews, won't we?
Absolutely, yeah, we will. And so the other one that we were sent, of course, is Dodo, which is based on the extinct bird, of course, and that's why the picture has it in the garb there. We mentioned that in the unboxing. So if you could hold that up, Claire, I'll whiz through the notes really quickly. The perfumette, Joseph Delap. Top notes are fern, lime, lychee and raspberry. In the mid, we have ambergris, fir balsam, geranium and rose. And in the base, we have amber, feathery musk, oak moss, patchouli and sandalwood. So Victor Wong described this as being a vintage retro fougere style fragrance. Hence, I guess, the name Dodo, which is an old-fashioned bird, or so old-fashioned that it no longer exists. And you could argue those fragrances aren't made, certainly by designer houses, much anymore. But they are by niche houses. And, well, yes, it does have a lot of that kind of old mossy green feel, but it doesn't sort of smell a lot like, if you like Houbigant Fougere Royale, just go and pick this up.
No,
it's
very tropical and lush, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of Hummingbird.
Oh yeah, you've said that.
Zoologist.
Yeah.
It has a similar feel, almost like you're in some weird and wonderful land.
And of course, it was Mauritius was the island where the dodo lived, so it would be tropical there. So there's lime in the opening, and you do get a very kind of zesty,
really tart, sour, kind of opening.
Yeah. So I mean, for an aromatic fougere, lychee and raspberry are not the stereotypical notes. So it's got this kind of really fruity, green, zesty, almost a bit of a tropical thing, but then it does go very leafy. It's mossy, and it's got a little bit of this kind of almost dankness of the forest floor or something like that, or leaves. So it's much more of a zoologist style fragrance that's going to be hard for everybody to take to.
It's quite bracing, almost like ice water feel to it.
Yeah, it's certainly not a generic standard crowd-pleasing fragrance opening. And the development on skin, though, it calms down after that, and there is a really nice kind of warming, mossy, earthy feel about this one. So if you do like your traditional aromatic fougere type fragrances, if you like your piney, green, mossy things, I think we get more of that. And I get a bit of leatheriness in it as well. Leather isn't listed as a note, but maybe other things give that effect. And it does remind me a bit of rhinoceros. I think that's, if you know other zoologist ones, that would be my closest comparison. And if you like that, you might be one who's going to enjoy this.
I was thinking panda a little bit, or maybe elephant. It's in that ballpark.
Yeah, that's got that green.
Yeah.
That's a good comparison, both of those two, actually. Yeah. It's
in that little ballpark. So if you like those, you might well like Dodo.
Yeah. So really, really interested in that one so far. Much more than the more polarising one of the two, but definitely, the typical kind of zoologist thing that there's plenty to talk about. And a first impression really is very much that with zoologists, because they tend to be very complex, and you only get to know them over several wearings, over a few weeks or months. So lovely, exciting and beautifully packaged fragrances. Thank you so much to the company for sending them. They're 60ml bottles. They're reasonably priced for niche, aren't they?
And look at the back,
relatively speaking, I think.
Chameleon, which has the rainbow effect coming through, which I think is pretty cool.
Brilliant bottle.
Love
Classic.
It. Really
okay. So those are our first impressions on those. Thank you very much for joining us. Remember, whatever you're doing in life, let's project. See you next time. Bye-bye.